Here at Mishawaka High School, we offer students a rather unique opportunity. That opportunity is called the Mishawaka Network. The Mishawaka Network gives students the ability to experiment with different tools, that being maybe editing and creating a story for our newscasts, maybe being an anchor on our newscasts, or broadcasting a live sporting event. One of our students that will be graduating shortly excelled in that program. His name is Brady Gallo. Brady Gallo was a student and an athlete who played baseball for the Mishawaka Cavemen, but Brady is and will always be much more than a baseball player. After Brady finished middle school, there was a decision that had to be made. Would he continue going to school through his current district, or would he try something new at Mishawaka? The main reason you came to Mishawaka High School was what?
At the beginning, it was baseball.
And what has it become?
It's become one of my biggest joys in life, I'd say.
Brady really made the choice. We just kind of laid out the options, and he had a relationship with Coach Hemmer and just decided to come here. And quite honestly, so glad he's here because he's connected with you guys and the Mishawaka Network, and that's really just changed his life. Brady's always been a hard worker, and he's always had the passion, but it's a lot of hard work and just talent that takes you to the college level. So wasn't sure if he always had that, but as he got to high school, he just put in the time and the commitment away from the field, which is, I think, what separates a lot of kids that like sports and love sports. So it's not surprising to see him at the college level, and I'm just happy he gets to keep doing what he loves for 4 years.
Brady just doesn't give up. He's a hard worker, he doesn't give up, and he's gonna just keep trying and trying and trying until he reaches his goals. He is a hard worker. We kind of call him the bulldog. He just doesn't give up.
When you first came to baseball here at the high school, your mom and dad told us that there were some struggles at first with the pandemic going on, you doing virtual learning, stuff like that. How did the baseball field help you or hurt you or change your way of life your freshman year?
My freshman year, that was kind of a hard time for me, especially because, like I said, I came here to play baseball initially, and season just didn't end up going how I wanted. Probably one of the worst seasons of my career. On top of that, knowing absolutely no one and not really having someone I could reach out to and just kind of vent to. So that was really hard for me. But I think as the years went on, things continued to get better. I started to meet people, but especially my freshman year, not knowing anyone, that was really hard, and that's kind of shaped who I am today, I think.
Brady had a pretty tough freshman year here at Mishawaka. It was the COVID year. Everyone's wearing masks. Everyone is, hybrid school, half at home, half here. And that was a really tough position for him to be in, to be the new kid coming in from completely out of district. And that was a rough year. He had baseball to get him through, which we just kept looking forward to for the spring. And there was a year baseball didn't go exactly how we wanted it to. You change your whole life, you change your whole trajectory of your school career, and it was a really tough pill to swallow. He confided in us that he was really thinking about maybe changing it back and going to what would be his home school. And we, together as a team, we talked about it. We encouraged him to stay. We did everything that we could to get him to find a home here, find family here. And that was the year it clicked, his sophomore year, when he found Mishawaka Network. And baseball started to go his way. He started to make friendships with some of the kids here, and it just changed his life. We are so happy that he stayed here. We're so glad he's a Mishawaka Caveman.
Welcome to the Cave. I'm Brady Gallo. I'm here with Daniel Phillips. We got a great matchup in store for you guys against the Argus Dragons coming to the Cave to face off against the Mishawaka Cavemen. As I already mentioned, I'm Brady Gallo. I'm here with Daniel Phillips. Daniel, how does it feel to be out here?
Well, I think the best part, too, about him staying here is he's going to college, but he's going to college to continue doing what he's been doing here. And that's awesome because regardless of sports, you want your kids to find their purpose in life and what they want to do, and that's what you guys have provided. So I just know as a family, like we're so grateful he gets to play baseball in college, but we're even more grateful that he knows what he wants to do after college, and that's a credit to you guys.
He has 2 years experience into what he wants to do in college. It is such an amazing leg up, something that I didn't have when I was in high school. I know you didn't have when you were in high school. We just feel like he's going to have such a leg up, and we're so, so grateful. Thank you, Mr. Rendell and Mishawaka Network.
And I love the fact he goes, when I go to college, I'm not sure what I have left to learn.
How has the network prepared you for what you want to do in college and for the rest of your life?
I can't say enough about the network. The network just fit perfectly into what I wanted to do, and I didn't even know it. When I joined it, first day in class, Mr. Rendell, I got here, and he just asked, is anyone interested in helping me run any broadcasts for volleyball games or girls basketball? And I'm like, that sounds like me. That sounds like something I want to do. I always kind of had this pipe dream. Like when I told people what I wanted to do, I was like, I always wanted to be an announcer, but I always kind of knew like that's never really going to happen because I had no idea how to even get into that space. So just being offered that opportunity just kind of jump-started me into everything, and being able to be on the air with you, and it's just been a lot of fun, and it's a great experience.
Yeah, so digging a little deeper into that art of broadcasting and your journey throughout it, what has been your favorite sport to broadcast so far, and are there any stories that you want to tell about them?
Oh, man. I'm going to have to go with volleyball. And my favorite moment, Daniel, is when we were on the call and you said Kylie Creech is the LeBron James of volleyball.
Put it out there for Kylie Creech, the dominance, the willingness to help her teammates. As Mishawaka gets the point there, I'm going to say her comparison, in my opinion, is the king, LeBron James.
It sounds like you had this. Sounds like you had this ready.
Listen to me. The assists, the dominance, the ability to work on both sides of the court. Or I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean. Offense and defense.
I don't know why I just like that moment so much, but it's just that was my favorite. I just laugh every time I think of it, and yeah, volleyball is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. It became kind of a fan favorite thing, us making comparisons about different players. We do that with girls basketball as well. But yeah, volleyball was definitely very fun. Is broadcasting something you want to continue on, like, you know, following that pipe dream that you've had since you were younger, becoming a professional broadcaster or a broadcaster at any level?
Yeah, that's 100% my dream, and it's kind of becoming more than a dream. It's getting closer to reality. Huntington has a fantastic broadcasting program, and if I'm able to just kind of be a sponge around all those guys, Chuck Freeby's helped me out a lot. He's been a good outlet, and he's given me some good advice. So, yeah, it's definitely something I want to pursue.
Brady's been awesome to coach. Just love how he came to Mishawaka. You know, he's immature as a freshman, but he has grown so much. His determination and his work ethic has set him way above a lot of other players. He was putting a lot of pressure on himself to make an impression on his teammates since he is coming into a new school district. So he really wanted to do super well. And he, you know, putting that pressure on himself probably didn't make him succeed like he wanted to.
Going into my sophomore year, I was ready to quit. I thought, for the first time in my life, I thought legitimately about quitting baseball. But I just went in there with that mentality of, you know what, I'm here. I'm here, I'm going to make the most of it. And I ended up being blessed with a fantastic group of guys who just were around me every single day, rallying around me. It was just so awesome. And I think I can say confidently, those guys, if I was not a part of that team with those specific group of players, I don't know where I'd be today. I'd probably be at some other high school, not doing a broadcasting program, not playing baseball. So I just can't even thank them enough, especially my sophomore year and my junior year. There's huge years for me.
And can you tell me a little bit about a few of those guys that really stuck with you, especially now into your senior year, that you've kind of been with since day one and have always kind of rejuvenated your love for the game of baseball?
I think if I had to pick someone in particular, it was probably Matt Pelletier my sophomore year. He really just kind of took me under his wing, and I really did look up to him. Even though he was only just a year above me, I looked up to him. Fantastic baseball player, fantastic student, just someone I could model myself after. And Trey DeBroca, Cooper Pritchett, some guys in my senior class. Cooper I've known for a long time. Trey I've gotten to know these past 3 years, and they've been really great, and they make me look forward to going to all the practices, going to all the games. So yeah, definitely those three. And plus everyone else. I don't want to exclude anyone else, but those are just the big three.
Our friendship's like a brotherhood. I mean, 4 years, that's a lot. That's a long time, especially playing baseball. And us two just like having to deal with the same like new identities and new responsibilities on varsity. We like had a special bond because we're both pitchers. We were both pitcher only, so we got to like hang out a lot.
Obviously, you're a dugout favorite. You're a Mishawaka Network favorite just because the personality you bring to everything you do and the vibe that you set right off the jump. How is that instilled in you by your family, whether it be your parents, your siblings, other relatives? What made you become the person you are?
I think I've always kind of been like that. That's just kind of me shining through. But in terms of them, they just kind of made me feel like it was okay to be myself. Like my freshman and sophomore year, I just, like I said, didn't really know anyone, was kind of afraid of being me, I guess I could say. I know it kind of sounds corny, but just was afraid to be myself. But my family stuck with me the whole time and just made me feel comfortable being me. And that's how I am. On the field, off the field, on the broadcast, I'm just being myself.
Brady has a positive mindset, and he's always trying to keep his players up so that way they can battle on the field and stay positive even when things aren't going our way. Just love how he connects with the players and, you know, and pumps them up in order to be able for them to do well on the field.
Like Brady as a person, kid has grit. I love Brady. I mean, he always tries to push everybody and push himself, and he always wants to work hard.
One workout that we had last year, and he noticed that a lot of the guys were not pushing themselves in one of the winter workouts. So he's at the end of workouts, he made a point to address his feelings of how the other guys were performing in the workouts. And he said, I don't know about you, but I take things personally. And I want to make sure that I'm working harder than anybody else, because that's going to reflect on the baseball field. So that's one of my favorite stories that I could think about Brady and his character, that he just wants to win and make sure he's doing it right.
How does it feel? What kind of switch did you have to flick in order to kind of lock in and perform at a level that earned you a collegiate scholarship to play in an IA school like Huntington University?
I think it was the summer of my junior year. Playing summer ball, you kind of see all these guys starting to get recruited. You start seeing numbers, how hard your fastball is, ERA, all that stuff just becomes more important. I think I started seeing more people around me being recruited, and I just started to think, am I going to be done with baseball in 2 years? And that thought just didn't really sit right with me. So I just decided I'm going to put more work in. I'm going to commit myself to this. I want to go play at the next level. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to play at the next level, you're not going to. I mean, you could have the talent, but you're not going to if you don't want to. So I just decided that I'm going to commit myself to this. And luckily, Huntington found me, and I found Huntington, and it just ended up being a great match.
How did Little League and travel baseball? I know you told me before your father coached you. Maybe talk a little bit about that. How did that really kind of like give you the baseball bug that you couldn't get rid of, where you just loved it and thought about it all the time?
Baseball has always kind of been in my family. Like you just said, my dad's always been my coach. So just being around him all the time, he's massive baseball fan, massive youth baseball fan, even though he doesn't want to admit it. But he is a huge influence in my life, especially in baseball. Like, he was the one who convinced me to not only stay at this school, but to continue playing baseball. And I just can't thank him enough. Like, I wouldn't be going to Huntington. There's just so much in my life that would have changed if it wasn't for him.
That there are going to be some young student athletes, whether it be at the high school level or younger, they're going to watch this as somebody that's going to move on and play at a higher level, somebody that's been playing the sport their whole life and things like that, and have had other factors outside that have helped them on the field that actually had nothing to do with the sport itself. What do you want to say to them as far as remaining, like sticking with the sport? What message do you want to send to those student athletes?
Just be yourself. Be yourself. I know I just talked about it, but that's the biggest thing. If you're trying to be someone you're not, on the mound, in the batter's box, you're not going to find success. Just find what you're good at, and also use your resources. Use your family, use your friends, talk to them. They got some great advice to give you, no matter who they are. So just be yourself and rely on others.
Well, obviously, I'm Brady Gallo. I'm here with Daniel Phillips.
You discussed how you've done broadcasting. Now, that's Mishawaka Network. That's the job portion of it. We've been given the opportunity to be able to work, do the stuff we do in class as a job by broadcasting sports and running cameras and TriCasters, things like that, seeing what a live broadcast feels like. Now, before we did any of that, we had to learn the fundamentals and some other great stuff with editing and things like that in the classroom, also through Mishawaka Network. What are some projects you're proud of and things that you picked up that you think will also stick with you throughout your whole life?
All 4 of the Mishawaka game days. Those have kind of become, I guess, I don't want to say what I'm known for, but that's what most people think of when they think of my projects. But, you know, to be honest, just working with the guys, you know, Alden, Landon, Trey, Jaden, all those guys. It's just so much fun to work with them. But especially on the game days, that's what I'm most proud of. And hopefully people like you, maybe next year, get to continue that. But the game day is what I'm really proud of. And just being able to work with Mr. Rendell, be a sponge, learn better editing styles, that's really what's going to give me a leg up next year in college.
Can you explain a little bit about what Mishawaka Game Day is?
Okay, so Mishawaka Game Day, it's kind of a spoof of College Game Day. Obviously, you can tell by the name, but it kind of became more than that. It was a project that we did for fun. I mean, the number one question I get about it was this an assignment? No, it was not an assignment. We just wanted to do it for fun. We all love sports. We all love being around each other. We play games, do interviews. We just talk about stuff that we're passionate about, and that's what I really think it is.
You've done broadcasting. You've been able to just show the audience is hearing your voice. You're narrating the gameplay, what's going on the court. You've also done some on-screen stuff with doing our weekly newscast for Mishawaka High School. What has that experience been like, just being able to talk about your community and have your face on the screen for people to see every week?
It's changed a lot. The first time I did the newscast, I was super nervous. I hated reading off the telecaster and all that. I bet if you go back and watch my first one opposed to my last one, it's just like 2 different people. But I ended up enjoying it a lot. Being an anchor and having my own segments, to finish the lyric question of the week. It's been a lot of fun, and I love being in class on advisory on Fridays and people pointing at me, looking at me like, oh, hey, there's Brady Gallo, he's on the news. That's just something I never thought I would get my freshman and sophomore years, and being with the network these last 2 have really just kind of made it happen.
Although Brady's time at Mishawaka has come to an end, he left behind quite the legacy.